Princess Leonor's growing role in the Spanish monarchy. Spain has always loved its royalty. But what if the future of the crown doesn't look like the past? She's young, she's quiet, yet she's already reshaping the meaning of monarchy. The palace lights of Zarzuela glow softly against the Madrid night. Inside, a quiet determination has taken root. Princess Leonor of Spain, once the shy young girl standing beside her father, is now stepping into the full weight of her destiny. At 19, she carries not only a title but the hopes of a kingdom, still defining what royalty means in the modern world. When she first took her oath of allegiance to the Spanish Constitution, her voice was calm, poised, unwavering. It was the moment Spain saw her not as a child of privilege, but as the promise of continuity. Yet that promise didn't come easily. Growing up as the daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia meant living under constant public gaze. Every smile, every gesture, every silence, interpreted, dissected, magnified. Leonor learned early that her life was not entirely her own. Still, behind palace walls, she's been shaped by a family that values education and duty over ceremony. Her father, once a prince navigating his own path between tradition and progress, became her most important mentor. Her mother, Queen Letizia, a journalist before she was queen, taught her the language of empathy, the weight of words, and the importance of authenticity. When Leonor left Spain to study at UWC Atlantic College in Wales, the media called it the school for world changers. It was more than just education. It was exposure to difference, to equality, to global perspective. For the first time, she was not a princess first, but a student among peers. There, in the cold Welsh mornings and quiet classrooms, Leonor began to understand leadership not as privilege but as service. She learned to listen, to question, to form her own convictions. And when she returned, she brought that quiet strength with her. Her first solo engagements were cautious, almost tentative. But soon, her confidence grew. She began addressing youth organizations, environmental initiatives, and civic programs, not as a royal figurehead but as a participant. Each speech felt like a promise to Spain's younger generation, that she would represent not just the past but the evolving spirit of the nation. Still, tension lingers in the air around the Spanish monarchy. The shadow of her grandfather, King Juan Carlos I, continues to hover, his scandals reminding Spain of how fragile royal trust can be. Leonor's task is monumental, to restore faith, not by words alone, but by living differently. And she is. Step by step, moment by moment. Her military training began at the General Military Academy of Zaragoza, following in her father's footsteps. In crisp uniform, hair neatly tied, she marched with precision. But beyond the symbolism, it was a personal transformation. For the first time, she was not addressed as, Your Royal Highness, but as, Cadet Bourbon. Through grueling physical drills, sleepless nights, and shared hardships, Leonor earned respect not through birthright, but through resilience. It's in those moments, mud on her boots, sweat on her brow, that she began embodying the crown's new image, service before status. Yet behind the discipline lies emotion. She misses her family. She misses her younger sister, Infanta Sofia, who has become her quiet anchor. Their bond is more than sisterhood, it's a reminder that beneath the protocol, they are still young women navigating the weight of a centuries-old institution. When Leonor swore her allegiance on her 18th birthday, the entire nation watched. Cameras captured her steady hand on the Constitution, her father's proud gaze. Her mother's tearful smile. For that moment, Spain felt united. It wasn't about power, it was about continuity, dignity, and a young woman's courage to embrace her future. But the path ahead is uncertain. Spain is changing, socially, politically, ideologically. Monarchies across Europe are re-evaluating their roles, and Leonor will inherit a throne at a time when faith in institutions is fragile. How does a princess lead a people who no longer believe in crowns? She listens. She adapts. She learns. Leonor's charm is not in grand speeches or dramatic gestures, it's in sincerity. When she speaks, her tone is calm, deliberate, reflective. She doesn't demand respect, she earns it through humility. That's the quiet revolution unfolding inside the Spanish monarchy. She has begun meeting with youth organizations, women's groups, and civic leaders. Each encounter reveals her awareness of Spain's real struggles: unemployment, polarization, social unrest. She doesn't offer royal decrees, she listens, she acknowledges, she promises to remember. It's in those small gestures that she begins to redefine royalty, not as authority, but as empathy. But make no mistake, her journey is still watched through a magnifying glass. Every outfit analyzed, every statement weighed. In an era of social media and political cynicism, one misstep can overshadow 1,000 moments of grace. Leonor knows this. She walks carefully, not out of fear, but responsibility. Her parents, Felipe and Letizia, stand behind her, protective, proud, but cautious. They know what scrutiny can do. They've lived it. Felipe's quiet leadership, Letizia's disciplined composure, these are the twin foundations Leonor builds upon. Yet, even they understand, she must find her own way. And she is beginning to. Behind closed doors, she studies state documents, attends briefings, and meets advisors. Her preparation isn't theatrical, it's methodical. She's learning the machinery of governance, diplomacy, and representation. Not to imitate her father, but to be ready when the crown rests upon her own head. Her generation's challenges are unlike any Spain has faced before: climate crisis, technological disruption, shifting social norms. Leonor's test will be to connect a monarchy rooted in tradition with a future demanding transparency and inclusion. There are whispers that she could one day be Europe's first true modern queen, a monarch who feels less like a symbol and more like a citizen. It's a vision that excites and terrifies in equal measure. And yet, she's not in a rush. Her strength lies in patience. She observes, learns, prepares. Each public appearance adds another thread to the tapestry of her emerging identity. When she smiles at children in Asturias, when she honors fallen soldiers, when she delivers her speeches in clear, confident Spanish, she embodies a monarchy that is learning to listen again. It's not about crowns or carriages anymore. It's about presence, service, humanity. Spain's monarchy has survived wars, transitions, and scandals. But its renewal may rest not on politics or power, but on a young woman's heart. Princess Leonor stands at the threshold of history, carrying both the legacy and the burden of her lineage. And yet, she walks forward, not as a princess of the past, but as a woman of the future. The story of her reign hasn't begun yet, but already, Spain is watching, hoping, and believing. Because sometimes, the smallest voice in the grandest palace can remind a nation what grace truly looks like. And that may be the future of Spain.